What is up, everybody? Jets Wire here today. Today I will be doing my dream 2021 Jets offseason. So today I will be talking about some coaching changes, free agency, draft cuts, and all that kind of stuff. So first off, I'm gonna start with coaches first, and right now I have us hiring Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. I think this guy would help like I said in the other video. I think this can help out the Jets so much. Obviously, Eric Bieniemy has a brilliant offensive mind, and I think he would bring in a lot of energy for this Jets team, man. I think he knows a lot about offense. I think he would help the New York Jets out so much with their offensive problems, because we currently have the worst offense in football this year, and I think he would really, really help us out and get better at that. And as our defensive coordinator, I have us hiring Falcons former head coach Dan Quinn. I know people are gonna get on me, but it's not like we're hiring him as our head coach, man. I think Dan Quinn, he was a couple defensive coordinators before. I believe he was the Seahawks defensive coordinator a couple years ago, and he was a really, really good. I think he was a really, really good defensive coordinator. It's not like we're hiring him as our head coach. He's defense coordinator and head coach are different things. Defensive coordinator, you're just focused on the defense. If you're a head coach, man, you have to not even just. You don't even. He was a defensive head coach, but he's the head coach. He has to worry about the whole team. So a defensive coordinator is way more different than a head coach. And then next up, I have as our offensive coordinator, I have Eric Bieniemy bringing in his quarterbacks coach Mike Kafka in with him, but he will be the offensive coordinator for this team. And Kafka, he's a really, really young guy. I think he could be a really, really good offensive coordinator. But because Eric Bieniemy, he could bring in guys with him. I don't know for sure he'll bring Dan Quinn in with him, but we'll just see what happens. And next up, now we're gonna start with free agency now. So first off, before we get into free agency, I will be talking about some people that I hope re-sign with the Jets. So first I got Jets safety Marcus May. I think the Jets really try to pursue him so much, and they try to get him to a 4-year deal or something like that. Hopefully we can get him somewhere around there. But I think we need to make him stay, man. I think Marcus May, he's a great guy. I think he's a really, really good player. I think he's been making our secondary not look as bad as it really is. So I really, really hope he'll want to come back this offseason. But we got to try to pursue him that much and try to offer him as much as we could. And then another re-sign, I have us re-signing cornerback Brian Poole. That's another guy we need to look into, man. I think Brian Poole he's a really good slot cornerback. I think he's one of the best corners in the league, in my opinion. I think he's a top 10 corner. I know he's not nothing top 5, but I think we didn't pay that much for him, and he really was a low value player coming in. We didn't even give him that much money when we signed him back in 2019. We didn't pay. That's perfect. But we didn't pay him that much, and he really was a good player when he came in. So I think the Jets badly need to re-sign in this offseason. And now we are gonna go to free agency, then cuts. So in free agency, I have us signing Patriots guard Joe Thuney. I think the Jets, they really need to get this offensive line a little better than it is. I understand it's improved from last year and other years, but I think we still have to keep on improving it for years to come. And if we're going to try to build this culture in a couple years, we need to get this offensive line better than it is, man. I understand we can get it better with the offensive line right now, but we need more, man. I think Joe Thuney would really help us out. He's been one of the best guards in the NFL, and I think he would really, really help. I think he would go in at either left guard or right guard, but first, I'm going to get the cuts, so you'll see what we're going to do with some of the offensive line. So, next I got us signing Chicago Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson. I know a lot of Jet fans really want him out here because I know he's been one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, and a lot of people read stuff a couple weeks ago. It said the Jets were favorites to sign him in free agency because he's already made it clear that he doesn't want to go back to Chicago. So I think the Jets should really pursue him. I think he would really help our wide receiver core, even though like we still have to see if we're gonna re-sign Prashad Perriman, but I really doubt we're gonna re-sign him. So we can have Allen Robinson, Jameson Crowder, Denzel Mims, and I'll give you some more guys that we should sign in free agency, that wide receivers. And this is good for the running game. Next, I have the Jets signing Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones. I really am a big fan of Aaron Jones. I think he's like one of the better running backs in the league. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league right now. You saw his touchdown last week, 77-yard touchdown. Last season he had 16 touchdowns. He led the league in touchdowns for a running back. I think he's a really good running back, man. He could run. I think the Jets, they really I know we can go in the draft and draft a running back, but I do not have us drafting a running back in here. I think we should just go on and like sign a running back like Aaron Jones. So I really believe the Jets should go on and sign Aaron Jones. And next I got the Jets signing Chiefs wide receiver Demarcus Robinson. I think Demarcus Robinson, when he gets the ball thrown at him, I think he's a really solid wide receiver. And I think that's literally what the Jets need, in my opinion. I think Demarcus Robinson would make our wide receiver core even better, man. I think he's a pretty good receiver, man, if you look at him. He just didn't get the ball in that much, man, because you have to see, like, Patrick Mahomes has multiple guys to throw the ball to. He's got Tyreek Hill, he's got Travis Kelce, he's got Mecole Hardman, he's got all these kind of guys. Sammy Watkins, he's got all these guys. So, like, that's why Demarcus Robinson doesn't really get the ball. And if he came to the Jets, I think he would get the ball more than he does. So I really think the Jets should sign a guy like Demarcus Robinson. And next we are going to get the cuts. So here I have the Jets cutting guard Alex Lewis. I really don't think he's going to be with this team next year. I really doubt he'll be on the team next year with everything that's going on with him right now. I don't even expect him to play the rest of the year because of him and the Adam Gase situation. So I really doubt he's even going to be back on this team next year, man. I think he just goes somewhere else and signs. And next I got the Jets cutting right guard Greg Van Roten. I was excited with the signing at first. It just didn't pan out than I hoped it did, but it's just I think we need some more cap space too. If we're gonna make all these signings, we need to cut these kind of guys, man. We need to cut like all these guys I'm talking about. Alex Lewis, Greg Van Roten. Like, we gotta cut some guys. If we're gonna sign guys like this, like Allen Robinson, we need to cut some guys. And then next I got is cutting defensive end Henry Anderson. I really think the Jets are gonna probably cut him. I think so, just so we can clear up a little bit more cap space. And the Le'Veon Bell release gave us more cap space. So we just need to cut as much guys as we could. Maybe we'll cut more, but as of right now, I just have us cutting these 3 guys. But we'll just see what happens after the year. Because yeah, that's really it. And I got one trade right here as of right now. I don't really have any other. But right now I got the Jets trading quarterback Sam Darnold to the San Francisco 49ers for a second-round pick. So he will not stay in the AFC. I think he will go to the NFC, play in his hometown. I think the 49ers makes really a lot of sense because Jimmy Garoppolo, disaster. He's probably going to leave the San Francisco 49ers with all of his injuries. Like, he's that one guy, man, in my opinion. A team has to carry him. Like the 49ers last year. They had a great defense, and Jimmy Garoppolo had guys around him like George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Raheem Mostert. The offensive line he had in front of him, man. Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan would do so much to Sam Darnold to make him a really good quarterback in this league. So I really think we will trade him to the 49ers. But if we don't trade him to the 49ers, maybe we'll trade him somewhere like Chicago, Indianapolis Colts, Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are like teams that are going to be open to signing a young quarterback these days, man. Because like Ben Roethlisberger's getting old. Philip Rivers is getting old. And yeah, I just think one of those teams would want to trade for a guy like Sam. So yeah. And round 1, pick 1, Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, we'll be picking Trevor Lawrence if the Jets get the first overall pick, which I really, really think is going to happen. I think the Jets will go 0-16 and take quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. That's all you know. The best quarterback prospect to ever lived behind Andrew Luck. I think this guy can create a winning culture for the New York Jets, and I really, really like him a lot. He will be playing Notre Dame next week, playoffs. I just really, really like Trevor Lawrence, and I really hope the Jets get the first pick and end up drafting Trevor Lawrence. I really, really think he can build a winning culture, in my opinion. And next I got us drafting offensive lineman out of Ohio State, Wyatt Davis. Like that. Here we go again. We need to be able to get some more linemen for the offensive line. I think Wyatt Davis, I know he's not having that good of a year this year out of Ohio State. But since with like guys like Van Rotten and Alex Lewis leaving, so yeah, I think Wyatt Davis would really help us out. And by the way, I forgot a re-sign. I also have us re-signing George Fant, right guard. And that's another guy that we signed last offseason along with Connor McGovern, Connor McGovern will definitely stay here. We signed like a 5-year deal last offseason. So I also have us re-signing George Fant. I think he's having a really, really good year. He's had some stoppy plays sometimes, but I think overall he's still having a really, really good season. And I think a possible offensive line for next year could be at left tackle Mekhi Becton, at left guard Joe Thuney, at center Connor McGovern, at right guard Wyatt Davis, and then we also have guys like Eflon too. Eflon had a really, really good league last week against the Raiders, but I think he could be our other guy that we can put in there if someone gets hurt or something. But I really, really think Wyatt Davis would be a really, really good guy to draft. If he's a no-brainer for the Jets, man. If he's there, he might go a little earlier in the draft. Who knows? He might go a little earlier, because the Jets. That's the Seattle pick that I have the Jets drafting. That's the Seattle pick. It's going to be around like 25, 26, something like that, 24 maybe. The Jets play the Seahawks this week, which I really, really doubt the Jets beat them. But if the Jets were to ever beat them, we're not gonna. If the Jets were to ever beat them, though, that pick would get better. But we're not beating Seattle. Man, I really, really think the Jets are going 0-16, and that's really it. So yeah, and as we continue in the draft, I also have the Jets draft. I actually have the Jets drafting a running back, Najee Harris out of Alabama. I changed my mind on that. I actually think the Jets are gonna sign Aaron Jones, and I think we sign Aaron Jones for maybe like 1 year, maybe something like that. But we'll just see. I think we sign Aaron Jones for like 1 year, and he'll get like $9 million maybe. And I think we also dropped the running back Najee Harris. A lot of people watch Najee Harris out of college. I think he's a really, really good running back. A lot of people see this guy being the next Derrick Henry, and I think the Jets should draft a running back this year. They should also sign a running back. But I don't think we should play Najee Harris right away. I think we should leave him and just Aaron Jones will still be the starting running back. But I'm not sure. This is my prediction. I'm not sure if they're actually going to do this. If anything, we're just going to sign Aaron Jones and that's really it. But we'll just see what happens, what the Jets want to do. Maybe the Jets won't sign a running back and just draft a running back. Well, we'll just see. But I really hope the Jets can sign a guy like Aaron Jones. And if we don't sign Aaron Jones, there's also guys out there like Marlon Mack, Philip Lindsay. There's a lot of guys out there. But I think Aaron Jones would be a really, really good fit for the Jets. So that's really it. I'm only going to go the first 3 rounds of the draft because I don't really want to continue with the last 4 rounds. Last 4 rounds don't matter to me at all. I care about because the Jets this year, they have 2 first-round picks and they get the first pick in the second round. So the picks are going to be first. The Seattle pick is going to be like 25, 26, and then we will have the 33rd overall pick at the first pick of the second round. So that's really it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I really hope the Jets can have a really, really good offseason so we can build a winning culture for this team. But the main thing the Jets have to do this offseason is draft Trevor Lawrence. I think that's the main priority this offseason. That's literally what and also hire a guy like Eric Bieniemy. And there's other guys out there, but I will make other videos of what other coaches we can hire. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like the video, comment. Don't forget to follow my Jets account, Jets_wire, and I will see you guys in the next video.